Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern house with a secret underground room. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please do consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. Plus, if you want some design tips for the interior, wait all the way until the end where I show it off. But without any further ado, let's get started. So just before we start building everybody, here are all of the materials that we will need to make our house. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make the grid is an 18 by 19 block area. This is represented by the white concrete grid that has the pig inside of it. Feel free to make it if you like, including the pig. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure you got all that stuff. Make sure you got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready. And once you are, we can begin. Step 1, my house building friends. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. Count backwards from this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then left by 1. Start the build off by placing 2 grey concrete on top of each other. 1, 2. I then want you to place a glass block going left, whether that be pane or actual block, and then place a grey concrete on top. Extend left by 2. 1, 2. Stick a grey concrete on top. Extend that grey concrete row down to the ground. Place white concrete in front of and to the left of the row of grey concrete. Extend the white concrete forwards by 2. 1, 2. Then up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go left by 2. 1, 2. And then join all the way down to the ground, like this. I then want you to grab your grey concrete and place a grey concrete in the ground going backwards and left of the white concrete row that hit the ground. Place 2 on top of the grey. 1, 2. Go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Join down to the ground. Place a grey concrete in front of and to the left of the grey. Extend forwards 2. 1, 2. Go up 2. 1, 2. Place 3 grey concrete going left. 1, 2, 3. And join down to the ground. Take the block that hit the ground and extend backwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then forwards by 1. Go up by 2. 1, 2. And then extend towards the back of the build by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Join down to the ground. And then, building across the back of the build, we want to take this upper grey concrete block and go left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can join that down to the ground. I then want you to grab your white concrete and place a white concrete in front of and to the left of the grey. Extend the white concrete up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 2. 1, 2. And then extend all the way down to the ground, kind of like this. Perfect. What we're then going to do to finish this up is take the block that hit the ground and extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Place a grey concrete in front of and to the left of the white concrete. And then extend that grey concrete upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And what we're essentially doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we are copying the shape that we have here. So we're going to take this block just 1 down from the top and extend left 2. We're going to place a glass underneath, a grey concrete extending outwards from the glass and then down. So what we will eventually end up with, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Now, I know that this looks a little bit weird, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit strange, but that is actually the framework of the house complete, and it's a huge amount of the house. It actually makes the rest of the house so easy to build, and we're going to do it right now. So, Mr. Pig, Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't want to have to smack. So what we're going to do is we're kind of going to work right to left, and we're going to fill in all of these sections with the relevant material. So for instance, what I mean by that is this right side of the build here, I want you to place 2 upside down quartz stairs underneath where this glass area is. You can also fill in the glass area with an additional pane. We can connect the right side of the build front to back like this using our grey concrete. And we can apply the same level of detail on the back, so we can place the same upside down stairs with the same light blue glass pane. What we can also do is fill in the gap between the front and back of the house using the white concrete. So the large entrance area, this is where we are going to enter the house, where the white concrete area is. It's the only white concrete present in the house. This is where we're going to be able to walk in. So first of all, we are just going to connect it front to back. You only really have to connect it front to back where there would be a gap. So I know where the gaps are, obviously, because I've built the house, but the roof is actually going to cover up a lot of this empty space here. So if you just make sure that the white concrete is applied as high as where the grey concrete is, you should be okay. Now, when it comes to the entrance of the house, I'm just going to destroy all of this ground space between the front and back part of the house so that I can place the doors. So I want to place a weighted pressure plate here, right in between the front pair of white concretes, with a door behind it. Above the door, I want to have a white concrete, and I want to have 2 glass above it. So that kind of gives you an idea of how the entrance should look. The top part of the entrance is all going to be glass, so you can fill the entire roof in with glass. And then the back side of the build I actually made to be a bit boring. You could easily have another door back here, but I have a door over here. I'm going to place white concrete at the bottom and quite simply just some light blue glass pane. You could even, if you wanted to, emulate the shape of the front of the build, so you could have a little thing like that, it kind of looks like an exclamation mark. So as we move around the house in kind of like the same order that we built it, just left of the entrance we're going to have 2 upside down quartz stairs here, joining this little staple shape together, and we're going to place light blue glass pane in that space. We kind of want to do the same thing here as well, just a little bit to the left. We want to join it together using stairs with a little bit of glass pane inside. We're then going to place grey concrete to just raise up. We want to raise up those 2 little gaps there, raise up the grey concrete as high as the surrounding walls. When it comes to this part here, it actually has a different style of roof from the rest of the house. I'm going to recommend you place 2 grey concretes here on this particular part of the house. Now, as we are moving around, I don't actually have any windows here because I have a lot of stuff propped against the wall. Feel free to add some more windows if you do decide. This part of the roof is actually going to be, it is going to have a roof that is a little bit different from everywhere else. It's easier to shape this roof after we do some quartz slabbage. So we're going to move around to this part of the house right here. This is where we've got a bit of action. So just like with the front of the house, I'm going to delete this block right here and I'm going to place an iron door. So this is the back door. It's right next to the wall. It's going to have a grey concrete row of separation, and then it's going to have 2 windows. The 2 windows are actually the same as the windows on the front, so it's 2 rows of upside down quartz stairs coming along the bottom of the house with glass pane above them. So something that should look exactly like this. And once that has been done, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that we have actually applied quite a lot more detail. All that's missing majoritively is the roof, so that's what we're going to do. The first roof, in our fashion, we'll just start over here, just on the right side of the build. And we're going to start this off by placing a row of quartz block directly on top of the right side of our building right here. We're going to extend the quartz block forwards and backwards. We're going to place quartz slabs on the right lower side of the block of quartz. And then we're going to extend the block of quartz upwards and to the left diagonally using quartz slabs like this. And that will make the roof. So it's a very, very simple way of making roofs. It's basically just a load of quartz slabs, so kind of like up and inwards, kind of like that. And the roof should be slanted, it's kind of like diagonal in nature. I think it looks really cool, and it complements the rest of the roof. So the next roof that we're going to make is the exact polar opposite side of the house. And we're going to focus on this long flat area here. We want to place quartz slabs alongside the long flat area. The quartz slabs want to overhang the house by a row. We want to extend the quartz slabs inwards and upwards. Eventually they will reach a natural point in which they will join together. It's easiest to just kind of like measure it out like this, doing it from one side to the other. We can then place some grey concrete underneath, like that, and that's looking pretty nice. So all we would have to do is extend the quartz blocks, because of course if you join two slabs together you make a solid block. You have to join these to the centre part of the house where the entrance is. And we just have to do the same with these slabs. Although, before we get too in depth with this, I'm going to recommend that you first of all focus on the back part of the roof. So the back part of the roof on, well, the back part of the house. And don't focus so much on the front quite just yet. So this is what we want to have so far. You can see that the roof has a couple of parts taken out of it. Grab your quartz stairs. The little part of the house that sticks out on the front of the house wants to have quartz stairs as a roof instead of quartz slabs. So to keep things different, this house has 3 completely different roofs. We're going to place simultaneously this roof and the part of the roof that we were just working on. So the quartz stair roof like this just wants to kind of like extend backwards. You don't really want to extend it to the sides at all. So if you place the frame of the roof, as you can see that I've kind of done here to help represent what I'm talking about. If you place the frame of the roof, and by the way, underneath the overhanging part, place upside down quartz stairs. Place the frame and then just extend backwards, like don't extend to the sides. And then slot in your quartz slabs. So the quartz slabs are of course going to just sit above the framework of the house. You're probably going to have to, in the corners, place a quartz block instead. And you should be able to see that it kind of just goes together quite nicely. And it's just a nice way of differentiating all of the different parts of the house. Like all of the roofs are different heights and levels and made in a different sort of way. And it's just like a cool way to vary things. So now that all of that is done, ladies and gentlemen, we have just a little bit more construction before we start decorating a bit. So the major part of construction is the fact that we have to add the underground room, which is very, very easy, but it involves a lot of digging. So the underground room is centered here, right in this middle window. You take the edges of the window and dig 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 in front of the grey concrete, and we place grey concrete inside of the rows that we just destroyed. We want to destroy a few rows down inside of what we just made, and I'll show you why. And by the way, underneath the window, replace the underneath the stairs and replace it using grey concrete. So we just want to have something which should look like that. And what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to place quartz stairs in between this end pair of grey concrete, and then we are going to place quartz stairs just extending down into the ground. I'd recommend the quartz stairs to line up with the entrance of the house. So if you can see where this white concrete is, I quite like the quartz stairs to like go as far down as there. That will actually leave you're able to have about 3 or so rows of separation between you and like the ceiling. It might even be beneficial for you too, if you want, replace the floor inside of the house using some, whatever your floor material is. I was about to say using some white concrete, right? But that's the material that I've chose. The reason that I would use white concrete or any light material, doesn't really matter what it could be, a light wood would be nice, oak or birch, something like that. I wouldn't use a dark material because we've already used grey concrete, which is rather dark already. But that's not to say that you can't, if you want to, whip out the black concrete. I don't think that there's any sort of material that's any darker, and feel free to make that your floor if you like. I'm just giving you a little suggestion. And if we replace the majority of the floor, I don't have to do all of it, then that will actually allow us to, if we come back into our tunnel, there we go, we kind of have like a solid ceiling. We're going to have to be careful as we replace, as we build down. We want to make sure that the walls are all made out of like grey concrete, and we want to make sure that the floor is made out of something nice as well. I don't know whether I have it on me, but the chiseled quartz is actually a block that I'm sort of starting to enjoy. The floor has to be changed as well. I think that I mentioned that already, but let's get rid of the glass. Yeah, I have the chiseled quartz, fantastic. So this is sort of like what I want to have. I want to have a chiseled quartz floor, and basically all that we're going to do here is we are going to create a room. And I'm sure that I don't have to explain this that much to you guys. I'm sure that you understand the concept here. Make it as big or as small as you want. We're actually low enough in the ground that you can, if you wanted to, put your own ceiling in, so you'd only have 2 rows, and then you can kind of have this anywhere. You might want to kind of just, you might want to just have the room directly below the house, but that's completely up to you. Nobody's forcing you to do that. You, like I said, if you're willing to have just a 2-block gap above your head, you can put in a false ceiling, and then that, and then you can just have this anywhere, and you still have like a nice coloured room. The only thing is, like, if you want to dig outside of the bounds of the house, and you still want to have 3 rows of space to work with, then you're going to find that you're going to have like a dirt roof. That's what I mean by having like a nice ceiling. Like if you dig further and further, like, and you still want the 3 rows, you're going to have this as the roof. And if you destroy it and try and make the ceiling, then you'll just have random concretes kind of like spread out throughout your world. So this is how you make the room. It's dead easy. We can place some doors here too. You could even, if you wanted to, place a little bit of glass above the door. It depends how fancy you want to go. Place some pressure plates so we can actually get in and out, in and behind. Maybe even extend this forwards a little bit as well, and then you have like a crevice, and then you can kind of do what you want down here. And in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, we've done a huge amount of the structure of the house. What I'm now going to do is I'm just going to clean up the concrete. As you can see, we have a lot of concrete. I'm going to clean all of that up. There we go. Perfect. So to work on the next part of the house, we are going to use a shovel, a hoe, some leaves, any flowers, any seeds, and I don't know whether I actually need this pressure plate, we'll have to see. So, the first thing that I want to do is I kind of want to set boundaries around the house, and this is where the oak leaves come in handy. So for instance, just on the right side of the house here, I'm going to extend some leaves forward, and I'm kind of going to create a curved area here that sort of just, it wants to just add some boundaries so that I know where I have to add stuff and where I don't. I'm going to do the same thing on this left side, although it's not going to be curved. It's just going to jut just straight out like that. So probably about a row or so in front of the house like this. Like, that's a good area to work on. I'm going to place some flowers here in front of the left side of the house. I'm going to place a bit of a grass path. Now this is going to sit in front of the entrance, in front of the flowers, and it is going to lead us to the main entrance of the house as well. And probably not too much further, to be quite honest. It probably wants to curve around the right side a little bit, but something similar to that would be good. I'm going to hoe this right area here, and I'm going to place any seeds. If you're just looking for effect, like how the seeds will look when they're grown, I really like the beetroot ones, but, you know, grow whatever you like, really. You can even add a couple more flowers just here in the corner, and that will be done. I mean, that's a really nice looking environment. we're going to do the same sort of thing on the back. So on the back, we can extend our leaves backwards a little bit. And like I said, we can kind of just create a curved environment back here as well, as far back as you want to go, really. And we want to have these leaves as well. We'll have these curve around. They want to join together, though. Like, they want to kind of be... Yeah, there we go. So they kind of want to come back about as far as each other. And then it's the same sort of thing. We can have some flowers along the backside of the house. And I do need a pressure plate, by the way, to actually get inside the house there. I thought that I might need one, and we'll place one on the opposite side so we can get in and out. And then you can pretty much just do whatever. You can have the leaves extend across like this. You could have it kind of like line up with the back, like the opposite back entrance of the house. You could even have some more farm back here as well, like whatever you really want to put back here. It doesn't really matter, it's kind of up to you. But if you're just looking for a bit of decoration, why not just add a little bit more of a farm? And then I reckon I'm just going to shovel the rest of the area. You could add some water if you wanted to. You could add a different kind of path. You could add whatever. It's very malleable, meaning moldable, meaning you can do whatever you want to it. And once you've completed it, you should end up with this, which I'm quite happy with. So hopefully you guys have managed to end up with the exact same kind of house that I have. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed building this. It's a really fun one. It's kind of like a weird blend of like suburban and modern that kind of just flows together very nicely. If you're looking for a couple of inside designing tips, then look no further. This is how I have divided my house up. The left side of my house is basically a giant crafting, enchanting, enhancing, smelting, other Ingwoods station. Like it's kind of busy in here, but I do quite like it. The right side of the house, which there isn't really too much to say about, it is just a little bedroom and a place to keep some armor. But if we do work our way outside of the house once more, and we work our way down to our little hidden room, down here we have kind of like a little private armory, and we also have like a quick use double bed too, just in case you have friends. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the little bell next to the subscription button. That ensures that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section. I'm sure that I'll link you something there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!